Alright, welcome back boys and girls. Here we are in game number 3. Tied up now 1-1. It's a best of 7, so we got a long haul in front of us still. But as we can see, Major, when he wants to turn it on, can certainly turn it on. Game number 1 is a fantastic example of Leenock's craziness and ability to do whatever he wants in this game. Anything but standard if necessary. But I'm Rifkin, joined tonight by Fenner.
Hello.
Hey! I'm glad you guys are joining us in the impromptu show match. There's no real media presence for this. We just kind of threw it together. Very last minute. Good stuff happening. Spawning here in the bottom right corner of the map, though, from Yoey Flash Wolves. Yo! It's the blue Zerg player, Leenock.
And in the top left of King Sejong Station LE, it is the red Terran player. It is Major from Root Gaming.
I like it made no sense to roll the R, but I'll take it. It sounded good.
Root Gaming. I like rolling the R's, man. I wish I had a language where I could do that consistently, but it just sounds weird in English. What language does roll the R's a lot?
Maybe Scottish or Irish?
No, that's
I have no idea. I'm just taking a guess. I have no idea.
Yeah, Scottish is, I mean, hello, I'm Scottish. But I mean, it's like maybe French.
You know what? This is the most irrelevant thing I think I've ever had a conversation about.
Really?
Normally, I'm all for getting off topic, but I'm just trying to think like I should never have brought this up. I've made a huge mistake.
A huge mistake. Just sit back and drink your rum. Rifkin.
Okay, I'm done with you.
Alright.
Alright, so you're coming out the Reaper on this map. I don't imagine we'll see multiple Reapers again, but King Sejong is one of these maps. I've said it a lot in cast, and the reason I've been emphasizing this is because people really haven't understood just how big of a deal it is. Until you've cast umpteenth games on this match, map control is everything. You know, the third base versus the fourth base can sometimes mean the difference of victory and defeat. We are going to actually have the second Reaper pop out. I find this very curious, because I don't like this map for Reapers. I think when it first came out, a lot of people abused this cliff. It was hilarious. We saw some 888s. But the problem with this remains that if you come up this cliff, you can't go out that cliff unless you want to spend like another minute to get back in the base. And for these Reapers, while damage is always a nice benefit, the idea is scouting.
Yep. But I think he will go up to 3 Reaper here. I'll be surprised if he just goes to the 2. Let's see. Let's see. Reaper coming in now, and there's a third Reaper. 2 Reaper was popular for a while, but it's kind of the middle ground. It's like, there's no reason for 2, right? You either get the 1 and you get Marines out faster to deny scouting, get faster reactor, whatever, or you get 3 because you can do more damage. 2 is just...
Well, the reason I find this strange is because Overgrowth's the map I would have pegged him to go 3 Reapers on, not King Sejong, right?
Maybe.
Like, this is I mean, it's not the worst map in the universe. I'm sure there's a worse out there for Reapers, so I'm just saying this is not the best either. But still, these Reapers getting a little bit low. Of course, they will have that regen eventually kick in. And oh, I almost missed it. First blood over here.
He needs to be careful here, though, Rifkin. Yeah, the Reaper going down. That's what I thought was going to happen there. He just got a bit too greedy.
The other Reaper. Okay, this is why it died. Yeah, he was busy microing the other Reaper on the other side of the field away from those lanes. So keeping the command center safe and not disrupted from building kind of sucks. But you know, you say you don't need 2 Reapers. I would agree if it's just the Reapers, but 2 Reapers still pairs well with Hellions as the follow-up. So for Major, losing that 1 Reaper, that takes away his Queen killing potential, but not his Hellion follow-up.
Yeah, that's true. And the Hellions will be following up now. Pretty much the only thing you see in TVZ, unless your name is Bomber, and then you randomly build 16 Marines.
Bomber
no
Marines are
and
the
walk them
scariest things, dude. Oh my god.
I think he actually did something similar today. I wasn't watching the games, but I saw the interview after, and he was like, yes, I just mind game them. Yes, good mind game. Zerg player do not expect.
Did you sound like you're from like Iraq or something, or Iran with that sort of accent? That doesn't sound Korean.
I don't know what a Korean sounds like, man.
You just gotta like break your English up a little bit. They sound pretty normal, they just don't have the same syntax.
Well, it's bad if I go into accents. It's not a good idea. We should stay away from that.
For this politically correct stream, man, where we have a lot of rules, I completely understand your want to not offend the crowd and your sponsors and whatever, yo wuss. Major, actually, hang on. Backing this up, you're talking about not doing accents. First off, you got the best accent in the world by default. You tried to roll your R's for the first 3 minutes of this game, and you can tell me Korean accents are going too far? I can't let that slide.
Okay.
But oh, actually, hang on. What I can notice though is there's a lot of gases, and that layer finishes. Yep, that's gonna be a Spire.
Oh, he's liking this 2-base lair style here, Leenock. It's definitely not something that's common, so this is very interesting to me. Gonna get 16 lings and then just take the 3rd base. Like, the problem with this style is, I feel like you really need to do damage with the initial mutas, which worked out really well last time. But you drone up your 3rd base so slowly. Generally, a Zerg player will be finishing droning their 3rd base by 9 to 10 minutes. And if we watch it in this game, it's going to be much later than that, probably 11 minutes at least.
Yeah. Major is going to come with that follow-up push, though. And, you know, it's kind of hilarious. The failed 2 racks with a small handful of Marines actually did a better job cleaning up creep than these Hellions are going to. There's just too many lings. The second Leenock decides to unleash them, as long as he gets a surround, he'll be in a good spot.
I think he's going to try and sneak them out again, Rifkin.
Oh, with the Bailey Nest, I would almost certainly believe so.
That's a hell of a lot of lings right there. How many lings is that? 44.
That's 44. That's enough to deal with those Hellions on creep. Maybe not off creep, but... guys, I have one favor to ask. I've noticed Nathanius has graced us with his presence. Please don't start putting Kappas in chat. The phrase Kappa is really offensive here on BaseTradeTV, and I don't want to see any of that.
You've just said that it's going to cause a Kappa storm.
I just have to do what I can to thwart Nathanius' evil influence on my stream. He's a good guy, but he brings the worst out of people.
If you mention him and you mention the Kappa, you're basically begging for Kappas.
No, I'm pretty sure nobody's going to write Kappa in chat. It's a very respectful thing to do to listen to the streamers.
You must know that you're trolling me right now. There's going to be a Kappa storm.
I don't think so, Fenner. We'll see. We'll see which of us is going to be right, because I have faith in humanity. But these mutas coming out so early for Major. I mean, this is, guys, you got to understand, like, 2-base muta is not crazy or unheard of or anything like that. It's actually something that's become less uncommon. And I wouldn't call it common just yet, but the thing is, it's always one of those things that hits at a timing. But the one thing that is unexpected is Leenock having 40-something Zerglings with a good handful of Banelings underneath this.
Yep. Wait, does he have any? He doesn't have any upgrades, right? He's doing this all off 0 upgrades.
Oh, but the muta's getting a little bit wasted.
And he's getting Baneling speed really quickly. I think he's gonna morph a massive amount of Banelings once that Baneling speed gets close to finishing, because he's not committing to more mutas right now. There's no upgrades. This is gonna be an attack, Rifkin.
No, I 100% would believe it, Fenner. I have no doubt in my mind. The question is whether it's going to be an effective attack or not, because one thing that has been happening a lot so far is Major with a small amount of Hellions has been thwarting off a very large amount of Lings.
Yep. Alright, we'll see. We'll see. Leenock's ready to oh, the Burrow Banes!
Oh no! Oh no! Gets all the Hellions! Yo, okay, hang on. There's some argument that could have been better saved for the Marines.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
It's the Hellions that's been corralling the Zerglings, not the Marines. So picking off enough of those, if he gotten every single one, that would have been the best Baneling connection. That was just a pretty good Baneling connection, because he still has 2 remaining.
Now the thing is, I've always wanted to see Zerg players pick up Burrow faster and use Baneling landmines faster, because you only really see Zerg players pick it up really late, right? They're like, oh man, I'm losing the game, I need something to come back, let's go Burrowed Banes, but they're always so efficient. I really think it's an underused tech path in ZBT. Like, it should be researched all the time right at the start. I don't even do it myself. I don't know why.
You know, one of the funniest things actually, Leenock back in the Easter Team Story Cup had a fantastic Baneling hit, or setup I should say, is 5 Banelings, but he accidentally put 1 Zergling in it. So in the control group, you couldn't manually detonate them because every time he selected them, it would select the Zergling first. And I watched like countless Marines go over those things. It was the most depressing thing ever. But the muta's getting corralled pretty well here. They don't quite have that number to deal with anything, so just on the run for the time being. But Zerglings, where do these guys come from? Sneak attack from behind. They're going to get on top of the mineral lines, and most importantly, with these mutas, kill quite a few SCVs.
Yeah, he's getting into that mineral line. Can he get to the bunker though? Pushing into that 4th base, going to take that down easily.
Hey, in Britain or Australia, do they have the phrase tit for tat?
I've heard of it.
Oh, okay. Well, basically, you know, he's paying him back here at the same time, doing him a favor and doing the other one some damage too. So attacks 1 base here to the 3rd. Major pays him back by attacking the 4th, shutting it down for Leenock. Major sadly can't quite get the full base snipe here though, or sorry, not Major, rather Leenock. He doesn't have a muta count for it. He's picking up Marines one at a time and really looking to abuse that muta regen. At the end of the day, 14 SCVs go down. Not too shabby, but that's not exactly crazy damage.
I don't know, Rifkin. Where has this gone? He's lost a lot of creep during that. I think that's the big thing here. He's going to 4th base, so he's going to be stuck on 3 bases. And his upgrades are very slow due to his opener.
I agree with you, but I think the other problem is the mutas that Leenock is the whole purpose of that attack was to draw Major back home, and it never did.
That's true. That's true. And now Major's still on this side of the map, pushing the mutas back to Leenock's home base. He's trying to get some more creep spread out in the middle now, which is really nice, but he needs to pick up a 4th base real soon. There we go. He's going to go for the middle one this time, as he does have the creep spread there. And 2-2 is on the way for both players. It looks like Major did actually delay that quite a bit due to Leenock's open as well, so that kind of evened out.
Every Terran player who's been watching this last 2 games is just absolutely jealous that Major's Widow Mines are connected to anything, much less actually hitting the mutas. I mean, the thing is, too, if you trade one Widow Mine for 1 mutas, it's actually a very, very cost-effective trade. And that's all you really need to do to keep that flock down, because the idea, guys, is as a Terran player, you never want that muta count to hit 20+, especially not 30. If it hits 30, that's doomsday for you. But
right, I think Leenock's setting up for another counter-attack as Major
do you think so? Do you think so, Fenner?
Yeah, but he's got the watchtower. He's got the watchtower.
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point.
That's a big call from me.
This is the kind of interesting for Major, though. The force down here actually is so small that it's not a large portion of his army, and Leenock is going to lose 2 hatcheries to this.
There's nothing here for Leenock. There's no banelings, there's nothing. So Leenock's basically going for the kill here. But I don't think he realizes how much of Major's army is left back at home. Can Major defend against this? A baneling's rolling in.
It's not enough, I think. They're running into the barracks.
Yeah.
Oh, what a waste. Good. What a waste.
Yeah, I think Major's going to hold. I think Major's going to hold. That bunker's there. That's going to soak up a lot of damage. He's got the choke points in the barracks here. He's moving into the 3rd base.
There's still a really healthy amount of mutas, though. We'll see if the production can deal with it, but back at home, he's lost 1 hatchery. He actually saves the other, but the medevacs just pick up. They're going to go to the main, and Leenock is still in a lot of trouble. Almost gets the CC, though. It starts repairing at 9 health, goes back 4, and he finishes it off.
But he has got another CC, which is just about to finish building, so that's not going to hurt too much.
Yeah, but that's supposed to be the 4th, not the 3rd.
Yeah, but come on, man.
No, I agree. Like, Major's done a lot of damage. This is the scary part. Both players have equal resources lost, but Leenock's 3rd was a little bit more important than Major's 3rd in this particular instance, because as Fenner pointed out, he can just rotate this one back in. A little bit sad to see that happen, but Leenock, he took that middle base while this was going on. He has that 4th up. He's got the macro hatchery still allowing him to actually mine instead of long distance mine off this base. I really don't feel Leenock took as much damage, but losing that hatchery was still a really hard target to lose.
Do you think we're even here? It looks pretty even to me with this base finishing up for Leenock. Like, he should move his drones across there instead of long distance mining from the 3rd base.
I would say this was even if there's more mutas. I mean, right now it's 17. Major's actually done a really good job of keeping this from getting out of control. He hasn't needed to make Thors.
Turret snipe.
Or maybe not. The SCVs with that repair. So sick. Keep it alive for just long enough for the Marines to get here. He's going to lose a lot of SCVs. Actually, not that crazy many.
Yep. +3 attack on the way for Major now, but Leenock's trying to see what damage he can get done with these mutas, losing 1 to the turret there. This is allowing him to get the creep spread up in the middle. Is he going to go for some more burrowed banes here? That could be huge.
I think this is... like, even these Zerglings dying, normally it's like a... Yo, it's a Zergling, let's make 20 more, but that's not the case right now. Leenock usually doesn't have a lot of larva to work with. He's got money, but not
the muta's not being controlled here. They're dying. Oh, so many went down.
That's how Major gets a huge lead in this game, right there.
Yeah.
Leenock, who's been content making just banelings and nothing else, he hasn't had to invest his gas in anything else because he had a 17 muta count. He wasn't going snowball with it, but he had enough to work with. It's not the case anymore. We see him dump all of his gas into this, trying to replace those.
Yeah, that was 10 mutas that he lost right there. I'd love to see some more burrowed banes. I don't think... Oh, Major is actually scanning every time he moves out, so that wouldn't catch him off guard, but I'd still love to see him try the play. He did pick up the burrow right at the start. I'm pretty sure he's only used it once in this game.
But that's kind of the good thing. If Major becomes complacent about this, I think Leenock knows
it's
better to use this at the 40-minute mark than at the 20-minute mark. Maybe
that's the thing, like, this 100-100 upgrade from Leenock is forcing all these scans, and how much is a scan worth? Like
270 minerals-ish, something
yeah,
like that.
That's a lot, because he's going to have to scan every time he walks outside of his base. And, you know, generally Terran players are not going to do that because they don't expect burrow. And for good reasons, people don't get it early on normally.
Okay, so we got level 3 weapon upgrades finishing for Major, but for Leenock, look at the banling count right now. Yeah. This is something that has managed to slowly kind of spiral out of control. 52 banelings right now, guys.
Oh my god.
I think what's kind of scary too is like this was also breathing room for Leenock to get to Hive Tech.
Yeah,
and he
that's
threw
true.
that infestation pit down. Normally, you're so starved for gas, you can't afford this. That's why we don't see it being pumped out right now, but I think after a good engagement, he's going to reel back and go for Hive.
Oh, is Leenock going to go for this? So many Banelings, tasteless! And he's rolling in.
No. What are you talking about here? No, that was a pretty awkward engagement, though, honestly. He didn't kill that much. Major actually lifted a good chunk of his army away. There's still Widowmine series slowly but systematically picking them off.
I love it. I love it.
The scan, making sure there's no Banelings to bait on top of. Major playing this so methodically, and he goes for a drop at the same time while this is happening. Leenock should be able to clean this up, but don't forget, guys. Oh, medevac. Never mind. It's like a slap in the face.
Now, is Leenock? I don't think Leenock really wants to engage with Creep. He doesn't want to go up that ramp. What's he gonna look for from the Hive? Didn't he already start the Hive?
It started now. It was late. I mean, that's what I was talking about. Like, he's waiting for the engagement to see if he had room to do it, or if he's gonna need to make another 43 Banelings like he is right now. So currently of 62 Banelings in total on this map, guys.
I think he's gonna go for it. He's gonna send Banelings in.
Oh my god, there's gonna be more Banelings. There's gonna be more Banelings. Hang on, it just finished up. 84 Banelings, Fenner! Half of his supply is in Banelings right now.
But where's the rest? The rest of the Banelings are at his third base. They're not in the engagement.
He's got
right
round 2 ready to lock and load, rock and roll. Literally, they're Banelings. Get it? Anybody? Anybody? Oh, hang on, let me do the Hades gif. Anybody? 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 Anyways, Leenock, this is a bit awkward. There's actually not enough links here, so what Major's doing is just segmenting off like 3 Marines at a time to fight them. But oh my god, that force from the third now going in for the planetary.
He's going to try and take down the planetary.
That's not an easy choice to make. That's so much gas. You waste as a Zerg player to take down that building, but that took a good chunk of the army with it. Major is overstimming like crazy too. These medevacs are all pretty damn dry. Oh, but there's just not enough lings. This is so crazy. I've never seen a Zerg player without enough lings to support the Banelings. He's going for those Baneling mines again, by the way, Fenner. Get your hopes up here, man.
I don't think he really wants to take... He's not planning to take an engagement with these. He's just trying to force bad positions from Major. He's trying to out-multitask him. He's not going to go in unless he sees... Like, look at this. He's picking up a Widowmine here and there. This is what he gets from just posturing around the map like this. A lesser player would not be putting this much attention into the game.
Well, a drop going down here to try and distract him, but Leenock will not be distracted. Those Banelings are far too precious to ignore. He's got a couple on the ramp too, but Major, as you put on, has been scanning every time he moves out. He's not going to waste these 2 Banelings, and he actually forces the detonation standing on top of them, so never mind.
The physics there were really funny. I don't know if you got the physics.
Yeah, the corpse goes flying. Yeah. You can't play this game without the ragdoll effect. Ben, are you kidding me? It's the best part of StarCraft 2.
Well, I've only just turned them on recently, because I got a new CPU. Well, I used to play in low settings, because I'm all professional gamer and stuff, and I need that less detail, but I've turned it on recently. It's so good to look at.
I think this is where it gets a little bit scary, not for Major, but for Leenock, because he's going for the Ultras Cavern. And I don't think there's a single person in the game who would argue Ultras are innately bad, but overweighing them. You're putting too many Ultras in with not enough Banelings, or Ultras and no Infestors. I mean, Ultras alone will lose a game. We've all seen it happen to the best Zerg players. Major's already got Marauder productions. He's had this since minute 1 of the game because of the Banelings. So it's not like he's going to be caught off guard by the swap. But the idea is that they're meant to be this giant brute force attack that perhaps just overwhelms one big engagement to win the game.
Alright, he just, like, once again, just...
All the Widowmines! All the Widowmines! Everything are clumped up. This is worse than a Thor hit.
Yeah, that was pretty painful. But the last Widowmine managed to not go off there. And,
dives for one more. That was so risky.
Again. Yeah, Leenock's crazy with these mutas. He's always diving in.
I think it's kind of worth losing mutas to make the Ultras for supply rather than the Banelings at this point. Because, let's be honest, at this point, you only need about 10 Mutalisks to look for the medevacs. He never invested in that 30+. He's not playing that style. So, actually losing a couple of those, maybe not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Especially since he wants to go into Infestors now as well. His Muta count not going to mean so much. He wants to get Ultras out as well. He needs a bit more supply. He wants to start working on building up a big ground army right here. Major, looking at picking up another command center. And his main's actually nearly mined out. I love it. I would love to see Terran players just float the main out a lot more often. Because they kind of just sit it there and it's not doing too much. He doesn't really have anyone on gas either.
Well, I think at this point, if he tried to float it out, he knows it would just get overrun. I mean, Leenock is having such good runs with these mutas. All this is doing, though, guys, is buying him a lot of time. Like, he's maxed out, sure, he doesn't need to push, but he's accruing a bank. He's got more bases than his opponent. He's getting those Pathogen Glens out so he can get some Infestors mixed in here, too. And Major, what's he done behind this? But defend and defend and defend again.
And now he tries to sneak another drop out, but Leenock's on top of it, man. I mean, Leenock's bank's getting so tasty now. That is a tasty bank, Rivkin.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good, but the sad thing is that's one remax right there, right? Like about 3K, 2K. Like if he makes ultras and a bunch of banelings, like that's gonna be hit the cost. So I mean, this needs to be more like 5K, 5K before he really goes for one game-ending move. So I think we're just gonna keep seeing him trade for a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where he starts positioning his units to try and take down this 5th base here. There's a scan. Will he go for that planetary again? There's a lot of Widow Mines right there. Picking off Widow Mines all the time. Leenock's muta control this game is insane. He's getting so much done with them. Forcing positions, getting those Baneling landmines down. There's so much more. He's still got those Baneling landmines on the left, by the way. There's 3 down there.
The planetary didn't
Oh my god.
Here comes the Banelings. A storm of green goes right through, but the Ultras need to be on the front line, not attacking missile turrets.
He's gonna go and he's trying to get that command center down, pushing everything back.
Oh, the Widow Mines missed the Banelings. They go off on the Ultras.
He's pulled off the command center there, but he can get it if he wants to. Oh, the Banelings are right under the command center there.
Let's go for the Greater Spire too. Oh my god, Major, we go, careful! Oh my god, he's 1 step from death and he doesn't know it.
No.
1 step from death and 2 steps from hell. Ah, that's a sick reference because of the music playing right now.
With the scan.
Yeah, he backs away. Okay, so Major's on 1 base mining effectively. I mean, this base is going to mine out in a second. Natural's empty, main's empty. He's had a lot of money to trade with, and that's why we've seen like 13 Marines at a time, right? That's kind of no longer an option, and I mean, Major is going to struggle to max out. He might get it once, but unless he can secure another base, it's probably not going to happen again.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, Major's in a lot of trouble here. The bank's there, the army supplies there, the upgrades are there. Major doesn't even have his +3 army yet. It's just about to finish up, but with the Greater Spire, Muta, Ultralisk, Infesta, good luck beating that with the pure bio army.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, there was never Thor's main, so it's hard to deal with the Mutas. There was never Thor's main, so it's hard to deal with the Ultras. He has to kite with bio, and as you pointed out, one good fungal growth shuts that down. Medevac gets slapped in the face, and Major, I don't know, he's got to fight around the planetary, that's for sure. This is a last stand move.
Oh, going in for that center tower. I'm not sure how many Mutalisks that costs, but probably worth it at this point.
You know, Major, he intentionally hasn't gone for Thors. He hasn't needed them. The Mutalisk count was never that big of a threat. And he's been getting good hit with Widow Mines. It's not cutting it here in the late game, though.
The fungal is getting loaded up, and there he goes off, fires off on those Marines right there. Another one goes down.
Yeah, those Kaiser Blades are way too good.
That's going to be good night. He's going to try and get back to the Widow Mines.
So useless!
The fungals.
You know, their spell and they ignore armor and all that, but they still don't do anything but tickle Ultralisks. Is kind of the sad thing. I mean, they're good to have versus Ultras, but as we can see, guys, it's really not winning him the game here. But he gets underneath the mutas. Leenock not looking for just a second. Not enough though for poor Major.
But with the Broods in the way, on the way now, this is going to be the nail in the coffin right here. Man, is he struggling on lava?
When do you see Broodlords versus Bio, right? Like, this is the mech response. Yeah. But this will work out nicely because what this is also going to do is bait out a lot of the Widowmine hits. Sadly, Widowmines are dumb and they'll target the Broodlings.
Well, I mean, Broodlords are amazing against Bio.
Yeah.
Along with Infestors and Ultras, like, that's the ultimate composition right there. It's just that the Zerg player can never get up to it because there's so much pressure the whole game. But Leenock's having a pretty good game here.
This has been pretty crazy back and forth. And it's hard to pick, like, one moment Major could have done differently, like the butterfly effect move.
True.
I mean, both players just played this out really well, but Leenock ended up playing it a little bit better towards the end here. And I do want to stress, Major's still in this for a little bit longer, guys, but he's got no follow-up to what's currently available.
Yep. And that Ultralisk going in. Not doing too much, but the Mutalist even going to fight now. And there's GG from Major. He knows it's over. The late game from Leenock, too strong. And he takes that game down. So that's 2-1 for Leenock now, right?
Yeah. And it continues with the loser's pick aspect of things. So now Major's choice to go for a map. I believe now we actually have to go to the new map pool. We've used up all the old ones, right? Merry-Go-Round, Overgrowth, King Sejong. This should send us into...
yes.
Yeah, so Major's going to pick from Nimbus, Deadwing, Catalina, and Foxtrot. But Foxtrot sucks. I imagine Foxtrot's going to be like map 7 if if we get to map 7.
Yeah, that's a nasty map, to be honest. I'm sure Terran players wouldn't mind it, actually. Maybe I'm wrong there.
I don't think anyone likes that map. If it was cross-spawn, I think it'd be a million, jillion times better.
Actually, I've barely played that map because I'm pretty sure everyone just vetoes it. I've definitely never played a ZVZ on there. I don't think I've played a ZV... no, I haven't played a ZVP on there. I've only played a ZVT on there. So if anyone likes it, it will be a Terran, but yeah, I don't think most people like